So what's the secret to a long marriage? After 22 years of being married, you understand the real value in a marriage. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to find a woman that's ready-made or a man that's ready-made. Those don't exist. They're created within the relationship. And I can tell you that if you don't go through hard with somebody, you won't know what it's like to have easy. There's a saying that you can have easy now and hard later, or hard now and easy later. And it's very true when it comes to marriage, because when you have walked through that very hard struggle with that other person and made it through the other side, you relinquish expectations. You let go of things that you once thought were necessary in a relationship, and you start focusing on what's important. And then from there, you gain this attraction that you've never ever seen before. It's this almost obsession that you can't get enough of that person. You know, I love my husband. I find him more attractive today than I ever did before. It's because you have to go through sometimes that point where you think you're going to give up or you're going to quit, but you realize, no, you're going to push through that. And when you get through that on the other side, you relinquish the expectations, and then you start to focus on what's important. And I really say to anybody who's going through a tough time in their marriage, if you give up now, if you go toward what's easy now, you're going to have hard later. So don't give up. Anybody who tells you divorce is the solution, they're wrong. The solution is not divorce. The solution is not to give up, go through that struggle, learn to walk out of it together, and relinquish, let go of the expectations. Stop trying to tell the other person what you want from them. Instead, double down on your own responsibilities and focus on what's important in the relationship. You will be so much more attracted to that person, even from the beginning. It's that point where you say, wow, this is the beauty of marriage. And there is an extreme value toward marriage that you cannot get in any other relationship. You cannot get this in two people living together. You cannot get this with a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or just dating, or casual dating, or living in separate homes. You will not achieve this type of mentality in those relationships. It can only go through in marriage, and those who have made it to this point after so many years understand that. So what's the secret to a long marriage? This question has been asked many, many times. And after 22 years of marriage, I can say that there is no secret. It's simply you have to be willing to go through the hard before you get to the easy. You have to be willing to go through the struggle with the other person and not give up and walk through together to get to the point where those expectations that were once there are gone. And at that point, you will find a type of attraction for your spouse that you will not be able to ever experience at any other time. It's that moment of, wow, this is the most attractive, most wonderful person that I'm going to be spending my life with. And you can only get that through marriage. You will not achieve this in any other type of relationship. There's a saying, if you want easy now, you'll get hard later. And if you want hard now, you'll get easy later. Everything comes in seasons. You have to be able to go through that struggle, not give up, to come out the other side stronger. And too many people give up in their marriage as soon as there's a really hard challenge that happens. They give up, they think it's going to be easier somewhere else, and they trade just another problem for somebody else. And then unfortunately bring their old problems that they did not learn, their expectations from their previous relationships, into the new one. You see, expectations, if you are constantly telling the other person, pointing the finger at what you want from that person, you're never going to see it. You'll never achieve it. It can only come when you stop pointing fingers and you double down on your own responsibilities. That's the only way you'll get what you want, because then that person gains respect, watches you do it, wants to please you, wants to be near you, wants to share that life with you, and will come along and start adapting on their own responsibilities. That's how it's done.